Use the given data set to complete parts A through C below. Use alpha equal to 0.05. We're supposed to construct a scatter plot, so we can do that by clicking on the rectangle and opening in StatCrunch. Click Graph, Scatter Plot, X for the X column and Y for the Y column, and click Compute. Now we can see that this thing has a shape where it increases and then peaks and then decreases like this. So we'll choose the appropriate graph, and then we are to find the linear coefficient r, then determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the claim of a linear coefficient between the two variables. So we'll open this in StatCrunch again, and we can click Stat, Regression, Simple Linear. Again, select X and Y, match them up, and click Compute. And we find R here at 0.817 if we round to 3 decimal places. This is the correlation coefficient and gives us an idea of the direction and strength of the relationship. This number here would tell us that we have a positive relationship, so as X goes up, Y goes up, and it has a moderately strong relationship. The closer we get to +1, the stronger the relationship is in the positive direction between X and Y. The closer we get to -1, the stronger the relationship in the negative direction. So in other words, as X goes up, Y would go down. And then the closer we get to 0, the weaker the relationship from either direction. So we'll check our answer. And now we get a chance to actually determine if the relationship is significant by using an actual hypothesis test. And this test is going to consist of a critical value that we'll get by clicking on this box here. What we'll have to do is figure out how many pairs do we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pairs. And we're told to use alpha equal to 0.05. So we go to 11 and 0.05, and we see we have a critical value of 0.602. Now that would be either direction, positive 0.602 or minus 0.602, depending on whether our R value is positive or negative. This time it was positive. And if the R value is greater, if the absolute value of the R value is greater than the critical value, then we would say that there is a significant relationship. So we'll look through these choices here. First one says there is insufficient evidence to support the claim of a linear relationship between the two variables. Well, that's not the case because 0.817 is greater than 0.602. There is sufficient evidence to support the claim of a non-linear correlation between the two variables. That's not what we were testing. Part C says there is sufficient evidence to support the claim of a linear relationship between the two variables. That's what we were testing. So we'll select that one, check answer. Identify the feature of the data that would be missed if Part B was completed without constructing the scatter plot. Choose the correct answer below. A, the scatter plot reveals a distinct pattern that is a straight line pattern with negative slope. B, the scatter plot reveals a distinct pattern that is not a straight line pattern. C, the scatter plot reveals a distinct pattern that is a straight line pattern with positive slope. And D, the scatter plot does not reveal a distinct pattern. Well, when we think about what our graph looked like, we chose this graph here, and although the correlation coefficient said, yes, we have a significant linear relationship, we could draw a line through there, but we would also note here that this does show a pattern that isn't necessarily linear. So we would choose B.